and answer portion. So first on the list is our early bird, Senator Lacson. Each senator will have 5 minutes, and we'll do the rounds as we go along.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My interpellation will cover 5 major topics, no? But I'll stop anytime when my allotted time expires para rin magkaroon ng chance yung mga colleagues namin dito to also ask their questions, no? Having said that, Mr. President, in government accounting and financial reporting, there's a term called budgetary change in cash. And I'd like to show a table to track yung last 5 years natin, 2020 hanggang 2025. As we can see, lagi tayong deficit, no? Every year. And I cannot remember in my 18 years in the Senate, wala pa ako na alam na nag-surplus tayo. We always operate na may deficit. That said, siyempre, we have to resort to borrowings. Ano? Ang tanong ko rito is basically, kasi after computing yung deficit against our borrowings, tapos less amortization, net financing, merong budgetary change in cash na naiiwan. 2020 hanggang 2022, may naiwang 1.1236 trillion, and then 2021, 582.1 billion, 2022, 353.3 billion. Now, ang tanong ko po is, kindly clarify how these budgetary change in cash amounts are treated. Definitely, hindi ito revenues, di ba? Galing sa utang eh. Hindi na natin masabing surplus kasi deficit tayo. Hindi rin pwede sabing savings. Well, probably savings. Pero how do you classify? Anong treatment natin doon sa budgetary change in cash? Sundan ko na para rapido na yung questions ko para related naman eh. Okay. Ini-include ba natin sila doon sa as part of the beginning cash balance for the subsequent fiscal year? Kasi kung meron sobra, meron tayong cash balance, ini-include ba natin to, no? Susunod na fiscal year. Tapos, are they factored into the calculation of revenue? No? Yung tax and non-tax. Dinadagdag ba natin ito doon sa respective fiscal year? Yun ang mga tanong ko. And I'd like to know, yung cut-off date natin say June 30, 2025. Magkano lahat yung tax, non-tax revenues plus budgetary change in cash as of June 30, 2022? Yung actual. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Ping. I will ask the DOF through maybe our treasurer to answer the question po.
Yes, our Bureau of Treasury, National Treasurer, Treasurer Sharon Almanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay. On the change in cash, Mr. Chair, the budgetary change in cash includes our basically the asset or the financing that we would have to use to refinance our domestic amortization, Mr. Chair.
Hindi lang yun. Kasi sa simple accounting, ang kinoconsider nga pagka yung sa accounting purposes or sa financial reporting, di ba revenues against disbursements, diyan ka merong budgetary change in cash. In this case, kasi nagbabaro tayo, and mind you, we always borrow double our deficit. Napansin namin yan. I've been asking this over the past years. Ano? Bakit tayo umuutang ng doble-doble do sa ating projected deficit? Say, look, sa table, ano? Say in 2020, meron tayong deficit na 1.371 trillion. Ano? Nagbaro tayo ng 2.6, so doble. 2022, ganun din, 1.6 trillion, umutang tayo ng 2.5. So, when I asked this during past DBCC meetings or hearings, ang lagi sagot ng National Treasurer sa akin noon, hindi pa kayo, confidential. Gusto ko malaman po, kung wag na natin, kung confidential yon, di confidential. No? Maybe there's a reason. Ang gusto ko lang malaman, paano yung tinitreat yung budgetary change in cash?
May I?
Saan ito nakaklasify?
Mr. Chair, we borrow more than the deficit, that's correct. But basically, sir, kasi we roll over our debt. So say for instance, for this year, we have amortizing requirement of more than 1 trillion pesos. So we add that to our deficit of 1.5. So essentially, it sums up to 2.6 trillion pesos. Now, the change in cash, the budgetary change in cash, meron po kasi kaming asset that we manage. I think in the past that yun yung reason why it was mentioned that it's confidential. But basically, we draw on that asset to finance our amortization requirement, and then we also in a way replenish that asset to also finance future amortization requirement for our domestic issuance. So basically, Mr. Chair, we roll over existing debt that will mature in the current year, and then the additional borrowing, which is basically the net financing, that yun po yung nadadagdag sa ating inuutang.
So that explains why from 2020 hanggang 2022, positive di ba? Pero nag-start tayo ng 2023 hanggang 2025, nag-negative na. So probably, may mga nag-mature siguro na utang natin, biglang lumobo yung ating amortization. Is that a correct?
Tama po, and we are, paano po? We are borrowing less than.
We're borrowing less.
Yes po, opo. In terms of net financing, if you will look at our net financing, we are borrowing less than the deficit since 2024.
Lumobo yung deficit,
Pero mas
para na-maintain natin yung ating borrowings.
Yes po.
Pero pataas ang pataas Look, borrowings in 2020, 2.6. 2021, 2.57. Bumaba ng 2022, 2.16. 2023, 2.19. 2024, 2.5. Hindi naman po,
Mr. Chair,
hindi
yung
naman bumaba
net,
yung borrowings natin.
yung net po, yung bumababa.
Yeah, yung net financing kasi nga yung amortization tumaas.
Yes po, opo.
And my observation, ano lang to, speculation ko, siguro nag-mature yung mga
Malalaking debt.
principal.
Opo. And then we have to
So that explains.
we have to finance it.
Okay. So, ang total natin, umabot tayo, pagka ni-net total natin, yung total deficit natin for the past 5 years, 9.1898 trillion. Ang net financing natin, 10.6. So meron tayo, pag sinubtract natin yung deficit from the net financing, ang budgetary change in cash natin, 1.4555 trillion. So anong status nitong amount? And I'd like, as I asked earlier, pag sinama nyo pa yung revenues, tax and non-tax, as of June 30, magkano na ngayon yung ating budgetary change in cash? Total. Hindi lang from borrowings.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, may I, yung as of June 2025.
Actual na yan, kasi June 30 yan Alam na natin yung na-kolekta ng BIR, alam na natin yung na-kolekta ng BOC, alam na natin yung mga non-tax revenues, yung sa treasury operations, yung interest income sa national government deposits, interest on advances to GOCCs, income from investments, guarantee fees, yung foreign exchange risk cover fee, government service income, fidelity bonds, and so forth and so on. So alam na natin yan, di ba?
Opo.
So can you give me the exact figure?
Mr. Chair, for as of July, this is our cash operations report. The budgetary change in cash is 618 billion pesos, sorry.
Kawawa naman tayo, 618 billion lang. Kasama na yung mga revenues dyan?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pati yung ano natin? So, tama, kasi
This is
kulang
the
lagi
budgetary
yung
po,
ating...
po. But if we include the non-budgetary, it's 1.1 trillion pesos.
1.1 trillion ang total. As of June,
Budgetary and non-budgetary po. As of
Yeah,
July.
as of July 1.
July 31,
July
2025.
Magkano yun? 1.1 budgetary and non-budgetary.
1.133 trillion pesos.
Hindi ko po narinig.
Sorry. 1.1338.885
338.
trillion pesos.
Okay. July 30. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for the information. So, is that a strong cash position, Madam Treasurer, o medyo tagilid tayo? Looking forward or thinking ahead?
Mr. Chair, we try to strike a balance of maintaining a manageable and comfortable cash position, and then at the same time po, we are minimizing the cost of carry. So we make sure that when we do our borrowing and maintain our cash position, we balance that. Kasi sir, of course, since not everything can be financed by revenue as presented earlier,
I know.
we time our borrowing, and then kasi we have a cost of carry po that's about more than 2%. So if we front load or we borrow more, may cost din po sa interest payment. But rest assured po that we are making sure that we have a favorable cash position to finance the day-to-day operation of the government.
Last question on this topic. May pag-asa ba tayo makakita ng balanced budget? In the near future? Wala ano?
Perhaps my colleague from the DOF can respond to that question, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So si Secretary Recto may answer that kung hindi alam nung representative. But if you know, you may answer the question. Looking at looking forward, meron ba tayong pag-asa? Meron bang daylight tayo nakikita papunta sa balanced budget?
Mr. Chair, as of now, what we only have in our medium-term fiscal framework is numbers until 2030. So our number is that we will bring down our deficit to at least 3.1% by 2030 po.
Okay.
Wala pa po, may deficit pa rin po.
Maraming salamat. So maski 2040, hindi tayo makakita ng balanced budget? Kawawa naman yung mga apo natin. Apo namin, hindi nyo apo.
When the trajectory, Mr. Chair, maybe, but we'll have to go over the numbers again by
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Moving on, Mr. Chairman, to my next topic.
Yes, go ahead, Senator.
Constitution, Article 14, Section 5, Paragraph 5. The state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to education and ensure that teaching will attract and retain its rightful share of the best available talents through adequate remuneration and other means of job satisfaction and fulfillment. 2025 budget. Bakit po natin pinayagan? Of course, this is the handiwork ng Congress. Bakit po natin pinayagan na maungusan ng Department of Public Works and Highways ang budget ng education sector? Worse, ayoko sabihin, I hate to say this, pero para kayong accessory after the fact. Dahil ginastify nyo pa yung ginawang milagro sa Kongreso na kung saan binawasan yung education sector kasi very specific po eh. Even sa President's budget message, sinabi niya rito na ito. Hindi naman nagbago eh yung President's budget message na kung saan identified natin yung education sector. DepEd, SUCS, State Universities and Colleges, CHED, and then TESDA. Pero nung lumamang yung DPWH, ang justification ninyo, bakit po ninyo dinagdag? Ayan, nandiyan sa chart. Dinagdagan nyo yung education sector ng Local Government Academy, Philippine National Police Academy, Philippine Public Safety College, and so forth and so on. maliwanag po maski sa press statement ninyo, press release ninyo, 4 lang. And, back to consistency, sa 2026 budget message ng Presidente, tuloy yung sinabi niya, the President's budget message, fiscal year 2026. Education sector, budget includes the 928.5 billion allocation for the DepEd, an 18.7% increase for the, state universities and colleges, Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, and then TESDA, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. So, ano ba talaga tayo? Ano ba talaga yung education sector sa ating definition? Kindly clarify.
I think, Mr. Chair, when we look at the provision in the Constitution, it doesn't categorically says that Department of Education. Parang
No, kasi alam niyo,
sector po yata ang
I'm sorry.
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Secretary. Kasi nung pinasa yung 1987 Constitution, wala pa naman CHED nun eh. Wala pang TESDA. Wala pa yung SUKS. DepEd lang yung education sector noon. Pero since na after the enactment of the 1987 Constitution, lumabas ito mga batas creating TESDA and the others. Maliwanag, when we refer to the education sector, there are only 4 agencies. Ayan, naka-define eh. Kasalanan ng Congress, ba't yung sinalo?
Yes, sir. That's why moving forward in the 2026
So now, you're
national-
correcting it. What if Congress again reduce the budget of the education sector, tapos in-add up nila sa DPWH, ganun ulit sasabihin nyo?
Ay, hindi na
Isasama
po.
nyo ulit yung local government academy, kung ano-ano mga learning institutions. Sabi ko nga, magiging accessory after the fact kayo dyan. O sige, pass na, pass.
Pass.
Sige.
Hindi pa mag-pass, ha?
And hindi nila may explain kaya pass na lang. But we have to be consistent next time, ano?
We'll do po.
My suggestion is, kung sakaling tirahin na naman ng Kongreso ito, ibito na lang ng Presidente yung additional para wag lang lumamang yung DPWH budget or any agency's budget over the education sector budget kung binawasan nila. Kasi hindi naman kayo pwede mag-realign, hindi naman yung Kongreso. No? But, dito siguro kailangan yung close coordination between the legislature and the executive branch. Every step of the way, pakibantayan nyo na lang, especially during the BICAM. Because we all know that nandyan talaga yung pinakamalaking mga culprits, no? I won't mention names, pero nandyan lumalabas talaga yung katakot-takot na alignments. Sana kung nandyan kayo, andyan naman yung mga respective LBRMO, tapos yung Secretariat ng House, mag-coordinate lang siguro yung DBM very closely para mabantayan nyo, oy, wag na kayo lumabes kasi constitution na itong ating binabiolate. Yung others, we can, say, close our eyes. Ano? Pero pag constitution na, major issue na yan. Hindi po ba?
Yes, sir. We agree po,
Thank you,
Mr.
Mena.
Chair.
Yeah. All right. Next topic, meron pa ba akong time?
One more topic, Senator
Hindi na,
Lacson,
sige,
and then
I'll give
after
way muna.
we extended it.
Ma-maximize
Yeah, we
natin yung
extended it to 10 minutes kasi
participation.
yung 5 minutes preamble pa lang 2 minutes na eh.
Oh, sige.
So we extended it to
Sorry.
10 minutes.
I'll
Yeah.
take up the other topics second round,
Second
or
round.
maybe tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Senator
Thank
Lacson.
you.
Next
Thank you,
is
Secretary Mina.
dapat bawal mag